we're out getting some miles in, so I figured, hey, why not do another jaywalking? This will be episode 4. I thank everybody that's tuned in so far. If you think I'm earning your time, go ahead and hit the like. And if you think I earned it enough, go ahead and subscribe, because we'll be doing more and more of these. I'm trying to keep the amount of volume of videos that I'm putting out up compared to the past year. I kind of fell off for a bit, but I was just focused on other things. So I figured, you know what? While I'm doing my miles, let's just record some. So today we'll talk about something else, and it's gonna have to do with the weather that I'm in right now. I'm in South Carolina, and it's the middle of May, getting towards the end of it, and it's hot. It's already hot. Today it's going to be 88. Yesterday it was 95. The humidity is gross. Right now it's about 65%. But on top of that, the UV, even though it's, cloud right now, a little bit of cloud cover, all of it has just been brutal on training. Typically I like to do my training in the morning. Today I was a big dummy and figured, let me start running at 11:30 when it's already starting to cook. But that leads me to what I was going to say is, when you're doing stuff like this, make sure you're staying hydrated. I got the water pack on, had a couple of goos with me. The goos that I like to use, and for those who don't know, goo is the little packs of gel that runners use. The ones that I use are plant-based. They have a good amount of aminos. I think it's like 14, 25 aminos, something like that. And I want to say, you know what, I'm not going to misspeak here, but they have a good amount of sodium and a little bit of caffeine for a kick. But the big parts of that are your caffeine, your sodium, and it's a hit of calories. Just a quick 100 calories that you can slam back, keep yourself going. It's just, a little hit of carbs with a couple other little things mixed in just to help. But I also try and drink water on days like today where it's just nasty. And the reason that I like to do the goo for the sodium and drink water is because one thing that some people, and this was me in the beginning too, with running, most people don't understand what staying hydrated means. When you say stay hydrated, they just assume you need to drink a lot of water, which is true, but you also miss out on a lot of electrolytes. When you finish something that's strenuous in the heat, your clothes are drenched. I don't know if you can see, but my shirt is completely drenched. And that's not just water. When you sweat, I know some people assume that wearing a sauna suit and going to do all these things to make you sweat out your toxins. That's not true. You're not sweating out any toxins. And again, you don't have to listen to me. Look it up yourself. but make sure you're looking at actual credible resources, medical resources, not let me go look at the guy that I agree with so that I can just have confirmation bias, because I was a victim of that for a long time too. I like to read conflicting studies so that I'm not just swelling my head with yes and oh, I agree. You don't learn that way. But anyway, when you sweat, it's your body's ability to try and cool you off, bring down your body temperature. And part of that is you're also sweating out salt. That's why, when you're, like, say for instance, I wasn't wearing a hat or a headband or something, if it gets in your mouth, it's salty. After you do something strenuous, if it dries at all, it leaves like, crusty salt on you. So when I say stay hydrated, make sure you're also doing that. You're getting in some form of sodium as well. They sell stuff like chewable salt tabs that don't taste just like straight salt. They taste good. They taste like a piece of candy or something, really. But basically what it is it's just sodium with some flavoring. But that's going to stop you from cramping. It also helps keep your muscles full of water, because part of what cramping is your glycogen is running out, and they're I don't want to say shriveling up, but the cramp is pretty much your body's way of letting you know that you need to get something in you, because it's a defense mechanism. So it helps to, when you're doing something like this, maybe to have some chewable salt tabs, or the goos help. They help me. Some people will literally put salt, just straight up salt, in their water. I can't do that, because then you just feel like you're drinking the ocean, and it's just not a good taste for me. But they do sell other things that are electrolyte drinks that you can just dump in your bottle of water, and they're tasty, and they help as well. But make sure you're doing that, because if you don't, you can end up hurting yourself, but also you can end up hindering your progress, because your body isn't going to want to keep pushing, and your muscles aren't going to want to keep going if they don't have the proper fuel. So that's why I wanted to bring this up. Keep yourself hydrated on days like today. If you need to, put on some sunblock. It really helps. Not only does it stop you from getting sunburn, but unfortunately the sun can cause some pretty bad skin cancer for some people, melanoma, stuff like that. So it's just more ways for you to stay healthy and keep going, because if you're sick, well, you can't do anything, can you? So stay hydrated. That's a big name of the game. I say it on every Instagram reel that I post when I'm out doing my morning runs. Another thing is, don't be a dum-dum like me. Try and do it before it starts really getting hot, because the heat and humidity also play pretty big factors on the amount of activity you're gonna do. They really will limit how much you can do. The more the sun's beating down on you, the hotter it gets, the more humidity there is. It just all plays a factor in tiring and wearing your body out. Even if you have, you ate a ton of calories and all that stuff, it really doesn't do much if it's 95 and the humidity's at 90%. That stuff's going to wear you out pretty fast. It also hinders your breathing. And just makes the whole oxygen flow a little tougher. So there's some more tips. We'll again keep trying to put up more and more stuff on this YouTube channel. If you haven't done it yet, you can go follow me on Instagram at oneman1year150. You can find me on Strava as well if you want to follow me there. We're up in the volume and we're trying to just push the overall activity more and more each week. You know what, that'll bring me up to another point. Don't try and do too much too fast. You try and do that, you can really end up hurting yourself, which again, you can't progress. You can't progress if you're hurt, right? So to try and steer yourself from injuries, make sure you're going at a reasonable pace. Set realistic goals. Be realistic with your training. And from time to time, remember to give yourself a break. I'm stupid with that myself, and just keep trying to push every day, where there are days I should really pull back a little bit. Today is probably one of them, where I've been putting in so many miles and trying to up how much I run that it wouldn't be smart for me to really just try and keep running, which is why I'm walking right now. It's still allowing me to keep movement, I'm keeping a really good pace, and knock out more miles. Because when it comes down to it, if you're trying to train for something and you're not even on your feet enough for the day, I mean, honestly, it's not going to get you very far if you're trying to train for a race or something physically active. So overall, for health benefits as well, try and at least set yourself a reasonable goal. 10,000 steps. That's what the average person should be doing. I know that all started from, and you can look this up as well, that all started from I believe it was a Japanese company trying to sell pedometers. So they said, 10,000 steps a day, that'll keep you healthy. And that's just kind of been set as the golden rule. Me personally, the past probably month now, I've set a goal of 30,000 every day. And there's days where I'm going 36, 37. But I'm also trying to get my body ready for a full marathon next year. And we have a couple of half marathons coming up. I do a race a month. Really depends on how I'm feeling, on what I'll be doing, and how close the next big race is. If I have a half marathon coming up like next month, I'm not going to go ahead and try and do another half marathon this month, because that would be stupid. You need your body to heal some, and the amount of activity I do, it would just put me behind if I try and do back-to-backs like that. So if I have something bigger coming up, typically the month before I'll try and do like a tune-up race, 5K, something like that, where I can try and PR or PB at least, during my training. But hopefully some of these tips really help some people out there. Again, even if it's 1 or 2 people, that would be absolutely wonderful. Because I know that there's millions that were in the position I was in for a long time. And things like this are how I'm keeping my weight off and just getting overall healthier and healthier. I'll be working on a few more bigger videos, just waiting for, I don't want to say the time, but I want to edit the couple I'm working on and actually edit them and make them look good, not just record me talking like this and then uploading it right away. Just, you know, I like to do these raw ones while I'm out doing stuff like this, no editing, because in my opinion they feel more genuine. But I have some that I'm going to be working on, like, you know, maybe a full day of eating kind of thing here and there. But also a couple months ago I did a 100,000 step challenge that I set for myself in one day, and I'm pretty happy with myself because I killed it. I broke 100,000 steps in one day. It took me 16 hours to do, but I saw a few other people try it. A couple have passed it, a few have failed, and I wanted to see what I could really do. So I pushed myself to the limit that day, and I did it. It was 50 miles, and I know that there's people that run 100-mile ultra marathons, but the big difference there is this guy right here was in no fit shape at all just 2-3 years ago, and I progressed pretty damn fast. Thankfully, I didn't get the sickness that we can't talk about on YouTube, but I'm still here, still kicking, no real big injuries, and that's because I've been trying to be smart with all my training. So hopefully you do the same. And again, if you think I earned it, go ahead and click that like. And if you think I earned your time enough, go ahead and subscribe, because I'll be putting out more information and just overall tips, weight loss advice, stuff like that. And until the next one, 1 man, 1 year, 150, I'm out.